Welcome to the Academy of ICT Essentials for Government Leaders and to this module, which is a revision of Module 1, and it is entitled An Overview of ICTs and Sustainable Development. My name is Professor Usha Vyaslu Reddy, and it is my pleasure to present this module to you in video form. This module is actually designed for government officials, basically policymakers at the national and local government level who are responsible for ICT policy making in a country. It is also meant for government officials who are responsible for the development and implementation of ICT-based applications and projects. And finally, managers in the public sector who are tasked with using the ICT tools for project management. These are the three primary audiences for this module. Basically, what we're trying to argue here is the case for using ICTs or information and communication technologies for sustainable development. Therefore, we will develop the macro relationship, that is the larger, broader picture, the relationship between the sustainable development goals and ICTs. We will also try to foster a better understanding of the potential of using ICTs for socio and economic growth in a country. And finally, we will try to provide a development-oriented framework for ICT-based and ICT-supported development programs and interventions in a range of social sectors, from agriculture and poverty reduction all the way to ICTs and peace. After reading this module, readers should be able to provide a rationale to their governments for the use of ICTs to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. They should also be able to identify, cite, and discuss examples of ICT interventions in key sectors of development in their own countries. They should be able to discuss the challenges in the effective implementation of ICTs, and they should be aware of and be able to use the key factors in the design and implementation of ICT and sustainable development programs and projects. This is necessary because in the last 15 years, the world has seen massive changes. For example, population of the world has grown to 7 billion, and it's likely to go up to 8 billion people by the year 2030, which is the end year for the Sustainable Development Goals. There is increased urbanization throughout the world, with nearly 40 to 50% of our people no longer living in the rural areas, but living in cities. Today, private sector investment is greater than the amount of aid flows from the developed to the developing countries. And as you and I all know, there has been an explosion in the information and communication technologies in terms of hardware, software, applications, and services. And among all the ICTs, mobile phones, which now account for 6 billion connections. And this 6 billion is only a figure I give you today. I'm still counting because the number goes up every single day. So 6 out of every 7 persons in the world is reached by a mobile phone in any part of the world. Yet, there are parts of the world meriting special attention. And the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific has identified these countries with special needs. And these countries with special needs are basically the 12 least developed countries, the landlocked developing countries of Asia Pacific, and the 17 small island developing states also in the Asia Pacific. This group of countries with special needs constitutes the focus of ESCAP's work in using ICTs for development. But before I go ahead with the content of the module, I should share with you what is the approach through which it is written. It is true that development is understood from many disciplines and in many ways. But what we are trying to do here is to look at the problems of development in the high target countries mentioned earlier through the prism or through the glass or through the lenses of ICT applications. And we want to establish the link in many countries between the ICTs and the achievement of the human development goals of a given country. We will argue not for the blind, but for the wise and a meaningful application of ICTs for development. We will also introduce readers to the linkage between goals, strategies, plans, and ICTs. And then we will suggest ways in which these can be implemented. Then how does one best benefit from this module? Because you know that the module is presented in both a print version and this video version. Look at the video version not as a standalone or a substitute for the printed module. The video component of the module actually provides the content in an abbreviated form. Therefore, to use the video content best, readers can, and those of you who are watching this video can, use the video alongside the print version, because the print version has much more of detailing in it about cases, problems, issues. Watch the video, watch a section of it, and then do the exercises given in the module at the end of each section. The exercises are intended to help you to understand the concept better. Pace yourself, learn at your own pace, and learn at your own time, and in small sections of content. What this means is, basically, the learning of the module is in your hands. You can learn a little bit of it at one time and another, or you can pursue the module in its entirety. In its entirety, to understand the module will take you about 12 to 15 hours of learning time. But we recommend that you learn in bits and pieces as and when you need. The module is designed in such a way that each section is complete, but links also to the subsequent section.